Hello everyone and welcome to the International Racing League. Round 11 here is at Kajala Raceway for the run of Finland, and our second race of 3 Scandinavian races. Nothing really of note has happened in between the previous 2 races. However, we have seen a lot more support for the local drivers here this weekend, probably because 2007 champion Eyappo Anselmi is on the entry list, and he's always a huge crowd draw, no matter how bland half of his interviews are. That being said, let's get on with the race. After a stellar debut last weekend, IRL Panders manages to grab pole on her outside Danny Marca, who's trying to close up on Viola Ling's points lead. Row 2, Jesse Knotts and Brandy Thorne. Knotts got her first win at Canada. Thorne, the defending champion, has been struggling this year. Row 3, James Cathcart and UC Orolki. This is his home race. Again, a lot of yellow and blue in the stands. Row 4, Jake Bennett, Robin Rotara, finished Formula X champion, or not champion, driver. Again, a lot of local support. Bothanov and Aling looking good on the points lead, and as long as she doesn't do anything stupid, she'll hold on to that. Row 6 has Baguette Regazzoni making their return onto this weekend. They've had a very luckless few attempts, and Devin Butler, who's been very aggressive. Row 7, Edmund Berlund, still looking for his first career win, and Eyappo Anselmi, welcome back to the series. Row 8, Olga Daniels and Matthew Evans. Those Audis have been struggling this weekend, but Evans has seemed optimistic for some reason. But I don't know if they have a strategy up there. The next row has Regazzoni and Kaylee Zappa. Row 10, Pierre Lamont and Rich Roy. Chevrolet has brought a very bad car this year, and I think Roy Smithley and Econ A have been showing it. They've been struggling this year. Row 11, Ryan Rickshaw and Wesley Jewell. Toyota's Jewell, where we thought he was going to be Team Star USA, never has a good road course car. Row 12, Ormond and Gorgonev. Renault also didn't bring a good road course car this year. 13 has Goryo Gorgonev and Kasper Ackerman, reigning champion. Not reigning, but former champion. Then Cassandra Hendricks making her debut in the series, and Kyle West, Ace Smithley and Ryan Raber on the next row, followed by Holiday, Antonov, Grainer, Tannehill, Jackson, Souza, Bison. Masana, Courting, and Arison all had spins during their qualifying laps. Thus, they will start from the rear. Very disappointing for Arison. She was looking for a lot more in qualifying. The cars on the grid waiting for the flag to go, and it's dropped and away we go. Great start by Panders. Marca was caught sleeping on the start. Knott's got a good start, so did Cathcart, her teammate. Bennett looking to make it 3 wide entering turn 1. That's probably a bad idea, but regardless, Ivor Panders holds the lead. No, Marca's making a run up on his inside. Everyone clear in turn 1, it looks like. Marca to the lead. Now, he's clear of the 21. And we'll take the lead in turn. By the time they're halfway down the second straightaway, Jesse Knotts making a move around the outside, but that's going to go not so well. And I think that's going to open the door for Brandy Thorne for third. Great start, though, by the Canadian. He needs these points if he wants to have any hope of running down Viola Ling. Panders falls for second. Meanwhile, back at Jesse Knotts, who is trying to hold off third from Brandy Thorne, who is I don't think she's gonna have any hope of defending her championship, but I think she just wants a good result, just so she can gain more points and hope to finish off the year somewhere within a respectable points position. Jesse Knotts is holding on for all she's worth, slides it wide, and the S's clips the curb, wide again, and into the wall. So Jesse Knotts' day is done after a half a lap. This is further behind them. Rich Roy, struggling this year into the back of Rotara and into the wall. So his day has gone horrible, and I think Lou Grainer hit the wall in the background. Looking at Everett Masana, Courting, and Grainer all had bad qualifying efforts. Grainer went off we think with contact with the 98. We didn't have a camera angle of it. But, we were looking at Masana because we think she had something to do with it. Apparently not. We are getting reports that the 77 made contact with the 98. So Masana though is setting her sights on Tim Courting, who owns the 50 and the 10 and the 60. They've been struggling this year, haven't they? Side by side with Holiday. She gets loose and unclips the 56, and around goes Masana and Holiday. No one else hits them. Baguette Regazzoni, car number 28. Making his first start since Chicago. Actually, not Chicago, since the US 500. That was with Roy Hank. Regazzoni running in the midfield. Around 13th, I believe. He's got Butler, and he's got his sibling behind him. Aapon Sumley back in the IRL after a few years' absence, running the 20 car for Roy Hank. Yeah, he's due to be back in Toronto next week to run the kart race over there. Then he'll be back for the Grafix City Grand Prix. But nice to see Aapon Sumley back. Another driver we'd like to see back was Kaylee Zappa. Zappa's role at the team at the moment is kind of under a lot of question marks, because Floyd Bordillon, who failed to qualify for the US 500, will be running this car at Germany later this year, and we also be running the Grafix City Grand Prix, but that will be for the 18. Though Zappa did run the turn a little bit wide, and no one's made contact with Matthew Evans. Kaylee Zappa, I guess fighting for her spot on the team, and I guess one way of doing it is trying to best their #1 driver, which is Matthew Evans, who is making is probably a little bit annoyed with the radio. Though he'll finally clear the 60. No, Zappa's coming back at him. This is great stuff for 16th, I believe. Evans on the curb, but keeps the car in a straight line. That's what a GT background does. And finally, Zappa will take the spot. Robin Rotara is now looking on the 10. Victoria Andanov is making a move on the 33, who gets into the 80, and around goes Andanov. That was a little ambitious by the Swede. Andanov's year hasn't been too great. This is Cassandra Hendricks. She's making her first start for Team Star USA. Failed to qualify for the US 500, and for everyone wondering why Ryan Raver is getting the boot and she's not, Raver won the US 500 in 2020. I think that's so. Raver has a lot more to live up for. Her teammate is getting past, or Raver's teammate and Hendricks' teammate just got passed for 20th by Wesley Jewell. Devin Butler is kind of mired back in traffic. He's stuck behind his teammate in both Ferraris, and he's looking to get 3 wide contact with 63. That could have been close. Regazzoni, I think, he's cutting the curb and into the 63. He's all over the place. Butler's aggression getting the best of him, and I think the team's gonna have to calm him down because he is all over the place. Viola Ling, the points leader, solidly inside the top 10, having a good run. Another driver inside the top 20 is Pierre Lamont, who's making a charge on the 10, who just went wide trying to get around the 4. So Evans is falling backwards a bit. Lamont around the outside of these next few turns. I don't think that's going to work, but I think he's setting himself up for this right-hander before they enter these right-handers, and he's sideways. So on the 59, not handling that well. He's going to go down into the Anselmi hairpin. So I hope Anselmi has a part of his tracking after him. And then they're going to enter, after the hairpin, they're going to enter the Thorny SS, named after Finnish sorter Larry Thorny, who that's been up to some debate recently. That might be changed in the next few years, considering he's up to Nazis. And Lamont's around into the 10, into the 310, and into the 14. Pierre Lamont looks like just overcooked that turn. And went off the road. Rich Roy's a lap down. He's not playing nice, and he just cut off Jussi Orolki. Not going to go well with the stewards nor the home crowd. Regazzoni currently, we got Regazzoni battle here for 13th. So both the Regazzonis are battling for 13th. Rutara thought about looking underneath the 55, but thought better of it. I'd like to mention the 13, who's their teammate, is running on the podium. Wonder what happened over there. Wonder if Keith Thorne's not sharing setup, so that's not exactly nothing new. kind of why her and Roy's relationship soured. Anyway, Retard making it 3 wide, coming down into the hairpin. Very bold move, but a very, it's gonna pay off. Regazzoni backs out of that one. Christopher, that is. And Retard goes down the inside. Regazzoni sees the opening and goes for it. I think that's what he was waiting for, to get around his sibling. But, Maggot's fighting back. We believe there might be a name change under this 28 driver. Same person, just different name for next year. There's also rumors that they're going to Acon A Racing, which is good to see. Both Regazzonis on a full-time car. That's not Matthew Evans, that is Wesley Jewell, who is slated to go to the full-time Toyota car next year, though no official announcement has been yet. He's trying to get around the 24, and Rich Roy is not making life easier. I don't think Roy knows what blue flag is, as he's trying to pass the 24 for some reason. Joel sees the opportunity, bangs doors at the 24, and goes around the 24, and Casper Ackerman's gonna go around the 29 and the 24 in one fell swoop. So Rich Roy not paying attention to the blue flags today. Meanwhile, we got 2 independents fighting for 10th. Vladimir Bothanov, who is raced this track many times, especially for the 24 hours of Crayola, and Robin Rutara, who is a Formula X driver, who doesn't really do much stock car racing. The Rutara are going to have the inside line entering 2 and 3, so this should be an easy pass. Bothanov not going to fight him too hard, but I think he's playing the long game. Meanwhile, Jake Bennett and D. Thorne are stuck behind the 310, and Cathart sees an opening and takes it. So that's for 3rd. Nice move made by Cathart. Now he's going to try to run down Ivar Panders and Danny Marco, who are well off in the distance. However, while we were watching these two, those 3, the 7 and the 3, and someone else pitted, and Marco would put the next lap in the lead. Here comes the Thorne, who would be running at P3 at the time, I believe. Orman pits, along with Kyle West. Here is Jake Bennett, who led a few laps before he decides he's gonna pit. No! Jake Bennett's not pitting, okay. And he's got his teammate behind him, so the Bennett Motorsport cars came out 1-2. Though we believe Jake Bennett only took right side tires. The 28 fell all the way down to 32nd, so horrible stop made by the Ferrari crew. We're looking at James Cathart. Cathart vaulted up the running order, or I think about in the running order a little bit. This car vaulted up the running order, the 19 of Asana. She's up to 20th, and she was mired back in traffic thanks to her earlier spin. And that's something we want to do. Jake Bennett, remember how he always took right side tires? Yeah, that came back to bite him. He had it off. And has to pit the 5 he flat spotted, all 4 of them. Running orders on the right hand side. And Russell looking at the back for 2nd. The 2 Scandinavian sport cars who didn't, falter earlier, are now all over the back of the 13. Remember we said Cathart fell a little bit, so did Panders. Barolki falling off the running order, so did Ansel. Man, the 172 repassed the 7 in the pits. Meanwhile, battle for 2nd's going on between D. Thorne, Daniels, who's also a former Formula X driver, and Ivar Panders, who's been having a bit of an identity crisis. He's been running everywhere and anywhere. Though D. Thorne is currently holding off his teammate quite well. Never mind, she just slipped up the turn. Daniels has an opportunity on the inside and is going to take it. So the 75's in 2nd. Though I think D. Thorne's struggling a bit. She doesn't look exactly confident. It's been driving more like she doesn't want to drive the car off the road, which is a good idea. Panders now setting up the American down the main straightaway. No, it looks like she can't do it. He can't do anything about it. Panders is kind of not Panders. D. Thorne is kind of driving away from it at the moment. She's got draft from the 75. Though it looks like Thorne is struggling behind the 75. That's going to give Ivar Panders the opportunity. Panders seizing the opportunity going in on the inside in turn 3, though D. Thorne's going to have an opportunity in turn 4 to defend it. It looks like she's trying to make a move on the 75, but can't get much of it. And here, Panders is going to have an opportunity around these next few turns. A little loose in 6, but clears him her in 7. And the next lap, Panders is going to have a run on his teammate. I don't know if Bullred's going to fight this one. if she's gonna fight it, I don't think she's gonna fight it hard, considering that's her teammate, and Daniels has Panders has a lot faster car than she does. No, gives the inside to the 21, really doesn't pinch him down. Ivor Panders up to second, and now he's going to try to run after the 79, who has been out dominating. Panders, though, does hit the pits a few laps later for a scheduled stop. So does Marco 1 lap later. Marco has had an amazing race so far. Here is Baguette Regazzoni, who hasn't stopped yet. They've been fighting the 65 car for a few laps, and Ivor Panders is blasting around the pair of them like a star in a bad racing movie, though for some reason Tannehill is inclined to fight the 21. Really don't know why. Tannehill has nothing to gain from it. Tannehill those slides wide. Regazzoni sees an opportunity. Contact! Into the inside wall, into the outside wall. Goes the 28. So Regazzoni, not having a good day. She just pulled out right in the middle of the racing line. Don't know why he thought that was a good idea. And he's... what on earth is he doing? And there's nowhere for Lamont to go. Lamont has damage from somewhere, but I think that's from him having lap 1 contact. You can see, I'm not sure what Baguette thinks he's doing. Race control went and have a word with them, obviously. No caution. Bogard, Arolki, and that's the Thorn hit the pits a few laps later. That's the other Regazzoni up in smoke. Not a good day for the Regazzoni family. Chris was having a decent run. He's up inside the top 15, which is kind of bad when your teammate's on the podium. And he's going to stop on track, and that's a caution. We're getting... yeah, okay. So, Robin Rutar hasn't pitted yet. I'm one of a few drivers who hasn't. And he's going to have the lead. Now... Alfa Romeo, I'm not sure if that's intentional, but they're in an alternate pit strategy. I think that they may have got the window, as Kaylee Zappa has been told to let go around them. I'm not sure why Richara isn't letting her go. Okay, now Richara is letting her go. And whoa! Okay. We missed something between the two of them. Richara, I think, kind of took out the 7, and Brady Thorns and happened at Jake Bennett for some reason, as this is going to cause a jam up. And we're looking at Viola like, what on earth was Thorn doing? She kind of just wondered, just like drove through the 5 like to see if he was a solid object. I really don't know what Thorn was thinking. We're looking at Viola, the points leader, who has had a very anonymous day. Was ranked up the top 10, though I'm not sure how scoring is going to shake out yet, because we still have cars who are a few laps down in between the leaders. Though we do know she is behind the 4 on track. Mainly because I don't think Wesley Joel has pitted yet. Okay. Everything seems seems normal. Yep, and Selma is also having a great run. So that is Vothanov, and that is Cass Brackman in the background. And... whoa! Okay, Blake just did the same thing to what's basically a teammate. He just drove through the 4, and that's not a surprise. And the 80 is saying he has lost power. Okay. So, I'm not sure where he got the damage from, but the top scoring's out of date. Give it a second. Rob Rutar is in the lead of this race. As you can see, David Bison's entering the pits in the background. Yep, and Tommy's all line already. I think he's expecting chaos, which isn't a bad idea. The 33 of Ingy Harris is in second after starting last. So nice comeback drive to the field. These two are the only 2 cars who have yet to pit. And I think what the plan is to have 33 get as far away as possible. Same thing like what happened in Sweden, just the reverse. Ruchara is going to lose the lead entering turn 2. Danny Marco is going to take full advantage of him. He slides wide. Kyle West goes even wider in the background, that black car. The Ruchara is going to hold off Dan Marco for second. Even I don't really think that's going to matter much. We got multiple cars that have been up here all day now. Up front, mainly the 80, the 24, the 35, and the 4. Jake Bennett doesn't have a lot of rear end damage. Okay, Kyle West is all over the place. A lot of cars have rear end damage, and the rule is because of the checkups. The only driver that would be penalized for anything is 13. That's because she kind of started the here's the 13. She the 13 and the 11 will be the only cars that will be penalized, because they kind of started all the stacking up after running into the back of people for no apparent reason. Painters has some front end damage. I think that's because of the stack ups. Dethorn doesn't seem to lose as much speed. We also don't think there's going to be any penalties for the 60 and the 7, because Tower is saying that was on their fault. There was a miscommunication, because they told the 60 to let the 7 back right as they entered the corner. So, chaos happening already. Dethorn's wide. Okay, keep it off the wall. Panders has to pay the price by going a bit wide. So, drivers not really keeping their heads. This is for what would be 5th, I think. Ryan Raver getting under attack from Wesley Joel. Joel sending it down the inside in turn 1. Raver gonna fight for that one for all he's worth. He's got the run on the outside. Joel sends it in again. And it's gonna work. Wesley Joel up the 5th. I can think. Jake Bennett now is gonna have a look on the outside of the 35. The 35 shuts the door. The 35's gonna do a crossover though. Bennett with the run coming on the inside. He's gonna have the advantage entering this turn, though I don't know if that's gonna be enough. Raver slings it wide. Okay, that is 35 having handling problems, obviously. Big time handling problems. Hopes there's no rear end to that car. Oh, crash in the back! Violing! Went hard to the wall. Here's we got a replay of it. Ling's fighting the 2 Mid-Atlantics of Caitlin Tannehill and Allison Holiday. Let's see. Entering this part of the track, 3 wide's not exactly recommended. It's also not recommended when you just dump the 65 in front of the entire about half the field. Bothanov's in it. Ace Smithley's in another wreck that's not everyone doing. Lou Grainer's involved. I think someone else is involved in the back. Here's Tanner. We're looking at a camera on Tannehill. I have no idea what Viola was thinking. 3 wide is difficult but possible. But it's not possible when Oling just kind of chased the 65 up the racetrack and just punts the 65. Both Mid-Atlantics had nowhere to go in this. And there's nowhere for Lou Grainer to go. Tannerhill's radio we can't play because there's too many expletives. But the 11 car is hurt. Here's Goryo Gorganev, who benefited from this caution. He's wide. Oh, look out, look out, look out, look out! Into UC Oroki. Oroki keeps it on the road. And everyone's all mine and dandy except for like 13 just blew by both of them. And Oroki I don't think is happy. That sent me 2 cars over the place. Souza's gonna run it. 33 has hit the pits, by the way. Surrendering the lead on lap 30. Goyo Goyanev the next lap, later that same lap is also gonna pit. Probably because he's been all over the place. Here's Casper Ackerman in the underpowered Gary Snyder 54 car, setting up Ryan Raver, and oh my god, this is gonna suck the life out of Raver. Ackerman with a run down the main straightaway. Does not have the power to complete the pass, but he has enough to hang alongside the 35. Sends it into turn 1. Raver kind of just gives up. No, he's coming back on the outside. So Raver trying all of everything in his power to keep the 54 behind him, but Ackerman kind of says, "Thank you, this is my spot." Oh god, Raver's off the road. Here's Edmund Berlin trying to make a pass on the 5 of Jake Bennett. This is for a podium spot, because I don't think Richard has pitted yet. 63 going around the inside. 55 is being hung up by Leo Ling, who has no idea what blue flag is either, and this is going to go well with race control, considering Ling has been a weapon the latter quarter of this race. Berlin's finally clears 5, and that's going to chase up Danny Marco, who is the next car on the road. And if he passes him, that's a net P1, I think. Though he's going to run out of time. Robin Richard had hit the pit with a few laps to go, and our cameras missed it. Our cameras didn't miss Danny Marco coming on the final turn, leading almost every lap, and taking the victory here in Finland. A very dominant win over there. Edmund Berlin and Jake Bennett, that pass was for second, but they also had a pit really late in the race, and that dropped them down the order. This gives Bulgar Daniels and Wesley Joel the podium spots. Amazing drives by both of them. Edmund Berlin and Jake Bennett, also good drives by them. James Cap third after having probably the worst pit stop in the world. Doesn't really lose anything. Ayapa and Selmy, on the other hand, gains a lot. Grant, this is his first start, but still a good run nonetheless. Rolke helping us at a Pennants Trophy. Butler and Jackson, great runs over there. Another great run by Casper Ekman, who finished up in 6th. Tim Courting from 30th in the grid gets 12th, what he needed. Ivar Panders, that late caution messed him up, and he needed to pit. Silly Souza, also from deep in the field, gets a good result. Vothanov helps his independence over after a disastrous last weekend. Zappa and Harrison's pit strategy messed them up. Rickshaw and Ananov, good finishes. Orman finished where he started, basically. Everett Masana, despite spinning earlier, did good. Rayburn gets himself in the points. Rutara's strategy messed him up. Evans and West round out the points. Marcus win today helps him gain on Viola Ling. However, Ling, what also helps him gain on Ling is the fact that Viola Ling was given a 30-point penalty for causing that big crash. So the points lead has significantly shrunk to 15 points. That's the difference between Ling and Cathart. Excuse me, it's 13. And then another 16 points to Daniels and 19 points to Bennett. Dan Marco's points now only has 42 points to gain on the Ling, and Butler, despite missing a race, still is outside of when he's still not outside a shot to win the title. Let's put it like that. The series' next visit will take place in the last Scandinavian country, the track in Norway. We hope to see you then.